Mr. Mendez, you've called yourself a progressive. As a member of the millennial generation, what do you see as the issues and concerns facing the young people of the Norfolk Plymouth Senate District, and how would you address those concerns?
For one, I hate the term millennial. Actually, we're pretty much almost 1/3, if not more, of the working workforce. We're the majority, we're a significant portion of the population. So when we try to say millennials, it's sometimes condescending. For one is student debt. I went to college forever, and luckily my father taught at Suffolk, so I had a little help there. But I have almost a mortgage in student debt. That's a priority. And what we need to do to address that is to cut administrative costs and try to streamline the process and proliferation of knowledge and education. That's one thing. Lots of millennials also, well, millennials, people my age are having having families, buying houses. And what we need to do is start building the economy. And what we need to do is look not just to millennials, but the next unknown generation. The kids who are growing up right now, who are masters at iPads, masters at iPhones. We actually need to look not at the millennials, but we need to look at how we can help the millennials' children. So we need to look more into the future. But like I said, I'm a millennial, so I have a perspective that's far outweighs John's. And I'm willing to look into issues, find out what everyone wants to do, and just move forward. But yeah, education, home ownership, building a family, and building a stable economy are the best ways to help millennials because they're normal, everyday people, not just a certain segment.
Thank you, Mr. Mendez. Mr. Keenan, a
No,
60-second response.
Oh, thank you. I think the student debt is a big issue. I have 3 sons, one who's in graduate school, one's a senior in college, and they have student debt, and we've been able to get them through it, but I am concerned about their ability to pay off that student debt and to continue to move forward professionally. I have a concern about whether they will someday be able to buy a house in the city of Quincy and other communities. My wife and I were very fortunate when we were in our late 20s. When we were expecting our first child, we were able to buy a house. Both of us were working. We had a child. And it's difficult. And I worry about whether the next generation is going to have that same opportunity. And we've tried to keep college tuitions down through the budget. In a couple of years, we were able to do that in the UMass system. But it's a constant struggle. The other issue I'm concerned about, and it's not just a millennial issue, but it affects all people, is the opioid crisis. And we've taken some very aggressive, progressive approaches to solving the opioid epidemic. I've been a key player in that, and I look forward to doing that work again if I'm lucky enough to be reelected.
Thank you, Mr. Keenan. Mr. Mendez, 30 seconds.
He mentioned the opioid epidemic. Actually, he really hasn't done too much. The Democratic Party over the past 25 years has put all sorts of laws in place that if you call 911 and you're knowingly in the same room as heroin, then you get arrested. So what he did is he got rid of that rule because it was stupid. So we're pretty much break neutral. Same thing with a lot of issues we can go over.